good, everybody? Welcome to the Be Thirsty Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and my co-host James from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. He is here. He is driving, but he's present and accounted for, and we appreciate him for it. So welcome. But we are here to go over the Housewives of Beverly Hills. This is the season premiere. We're just going to give our opinions and talk about what we saw. It was titled, this episode, Grace Time is Over. James, how do you feel about being in the 14th season of The Mess?
It is crazy when you think about season one and then like that being when we were like leaving high school, graduating and stuff like that, to now being full grown ass adults. It's crazy.
It has come far. But I love this show. I've been watching this season one. I'm very happy to be here to recap it. Do me a favor, if you guys could like the video. Shout out to the replay gang, all of you people who watch us when we are not live. We appreciate you. In the comments and in the description of this video, you can find a link to James's channel, so be sure to click that as well because we do quite a bit there. But getting into the episode, we start with Sutton Strack and Jennifer Tilly. I thought that was the perfect way to start the season just because it felt lighthearted. It just felt lighthearted. It was fun. I enjoyed those two together, and I'm glad that Tilly is joining the show to some capacity. So Jennifer Tilly and Sutton are very good friends, for those who did not know, and I do hope that it stays that way between the two of them. But Sutton basically states, and this kind of threw me off, that she does not feel that she was the best friend to Kyle in the previous season and in the previous year. However, we know Sutton's a Southern belle, and let's just keep it real. At the core, she really is sweet like sugar. But she gave Kyle exactly what Kyle deserved. And all she did was treat Kyle the way that Kyle was treating her. So I don't feel like she should feel bad about it. How did you feel about the opening scene?
For those of you who do not know, and I don't think I've ever said this on my channel, Jennifer Tilly was actually my very first celebrity crush. When I was 12 years old, I would never forget her in Bride of Chucky, wearing her lingerie and the dominatrix gothic look. Loved her in it. I loved her voice. I just thought she was just it. So to see her on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was very nostalgic for me. When it comes to Sutton and her saying that, she could have been a better friend to Kyle, I thought Sutton was tripping, like you. And I felt like for me, I wanted to see where she was coming from. I really did. I was like, okay, let me give her the benefit of the doubt because that's a lot of self-reflecting. But no, I felt like they were even. It was an even kill. Kyle fucked up, you fucked up. I don't feel like that was anything you need to self-reflect on. It felt like you could have been a better friend. Sorry.
Understandable. I think a lot of people feel that way, though. Kyle just isn't the best friend, and we're going to see like a running trend, and I will come back and discuss it more at the end. But Kyle is no longer in a place where she can make herself look innocent. So the next thing we see is Erica Girardi. She's still married. She's redecorating her home because the home is much smaller, even though she's living in Beverly Hills. It may look small on TV with the whole camera crew and all of that in there, but I want you guys to understand, if you go to Beverly Hills, specifically to the neighborhood where Erica is living, the house looks much smaller than it probably is in person, but it's still a small ass house. I'm going to just say that. But she wants to redecorate the home that she's in on her own because most of the furniture that she had when she first moved to this home after her separation came from the home that she shared with Tom Girardi, who, by the by, didn't he, I believe I read somewhere that he may be found guilty for a lot of stuff. I also read somewhere that Erica has to give back the jewelry. I'm wondering if she's going to discuss those things because there's still a lot going on in terms of litigation as it relates to Tom Girardi. And
So far, from what I understood of it, only one case got settled, but there's still, I think, several more. So yeah, he's standing all the trials, and yeah.
I know that
Now,
he was found to be competent. He tried
yeah,
to
they
get
found him competent. Yeah, they found him. They're like, no, buddy, you doing these trials? I don't know what you think this is. You're doing these trials. What the thing that's great for me is whether or not she will be financially obligated to give money back. That's where I think she's holding off on.
I feel like in the end, and again, you guys, we hope that you read the little ticker going across the bottom of the screen because it does explain that what we discuss is alleged. But I personally feel like she's going to be found guilty of something just because it's very difficult to start an LLC in just your name without your knowledge. So, in a court of law is what I'm saying. So it would be interesting to see. But while Erica is, redecorating, walking around, trying to get new furniture, all these things, she has Doris, aka Dorit, come. And I'm actually called Dorit because as of this episode, I'm okay with her. We will go through it and discuss it as we go. But as of this episode, I am okay with Dorit. Do I like
I
Dorit?
concur.
No. You said what?
I concur. She is Dorit this episode because of a specific scene that Mrs. Best will mention. I am sure she went back to being Dorit for me. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, she's doing better, a little bit better. Um, but basically, this is where Dorit announces her separation from PK. I'm not trying to be shady. I don't really care about the separation. I care to see how Dorit will behave without PK more than I care about their separation because I never thought their marriage would last personally. Just based on the fake accent as well as the over the top, like they have to seem to show every gesture of love to other people. I just never quite saw it for this couple. So I'm not surprised that they're separated, but I know it's got to be difficult because they do have small children. Uh, but I'm just curious. Now that she says wait till she says something inappropriate to the new girl. She will. It's coming. That's the thing with Dorit. That's why I say she did okay in this episode. So I don't feel the need to roast her as I normally would, which I'm working on, y'all, because my mouth can be mean and I'm trying to be nicer. But Doris gets on my nerves sometimes, and she definitely will rub somebody the wrong way. But she's coming off differently. Maybe she actually listened to some of the feedback that she received from the audience. But yeah, I'm just curious if PK is going to become friends with LVP again. That is how we met Dorit because she was friends. PK was friends with Lisa Vanderpump, who at the time was a housewife, and Dorit was just his wife. And we see lots of Lisa's famous friends and all of that stuff. So I wonder if he'll be friends again with Lisa because the only reason they had a beef was because of Dorit. And that's kind of a shame. Uh, Anywho, you guys, so apparently Dorit and Erica are good after Erica went to BravoCon, if you remember from the previous season, and when asked which couple does she think is next to get, head to Splitsville, Erica was like, Dorit and PK. So apparently Dorit is not mad at Erica about that. However, she's upset at Kyle for basically insinuating the same thing. Oh, let me catch your comment. Miss J, welcome in. Welcome in. Happiest of hump days. She is trying to get her check by paycheck. I've been PK. Listen, I agree with everything you're saying. Yuri is clearly in everything for money. In everything for money. And it looks like James dropped out. I know he's driving and it's storming everywhere. At least it's storming here in California. So he will jump back on. A bitch stay winning. What's good? Good evening. Welcome in. Welcome in. She says, why does it seem as though the only black woman that they have on these shows are foreign? What Oh, would love to see some Black American women. That's actually a very good point. That is a very good point. Uh, I'm not sure, but I have observed that in recent seasons from Potomac to Atlanta to shows on different networks. I have noticed that. That's a very good observation. That's why I love when you come in these lives. Welcome in. Oh, good night to you as well. Good night to you as well, beautiful human. So Dorit and Erica are talking, and I find it strange because Dorit has such a big issue. No need to apologize. I use talk to text as well because my fingers hurt and I got carpal tunnel. And I'm gonna just keep it real. Shit's always fucking up. I can't stand talk to text. Talk to text is the greatest but worst thing that could have ever happened to my life. Hi James, welcome back. But basically, I don't know. Personally, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with y'all, and this is alleged and it's my opinion. I feel like though Dorit had some success individually prior to PK and that she went to college and had her little fashion line, I do feel like she got with him because he had a little more coin than she had at the time. And it seems like with the recent gambling debts that he had, I believe the Bellagio was like a over $1 million bill or something, as well as his multiple bankruptcies, being caught up in some shady schemes. I mean, just Google him. It seems like the money has gotten a little funny. And with us not fully believing that her robbery was as descriptive as she played it out to be, I think that Dorit's probably like, I got to do what I got to do to keep my check personally. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I am not mad at that. She said, not problematic, these black girls. Damn. You're just so good at deciphering my mumbo jumbo. That's because I can tell it's talk to text. No worries whatsoever. She absolutely got with it for the money. Yeah. Yeah. Look at James' face. Yeah.
He ain't cute,
Love
so
it.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else. Hey, bitch, they winning. I don't know what else she could have went for, but the money. Because did y'all
Listen,
remember? Do y'all remember when he? You remember he used to be a little bit more heavier, and his teeth was yellow and rotten. And there's no
yup,
way.
before
There's
the change,
no.
the change in the lipo.
Yes, there's no way in hell PK wouldn't even be able to whisper to me. So I don't understand.
And he looked like his breath stank. I've always thought
Yeah.
that. I just don't know. Anywho,
Mhm.
Miss J, I agree with this. Karma from LVP. We are gonna get, and I'm gonna reference LVP so much throughout this live because she is being vindicated, I think, through this season as well as previous seasons. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. She said he ain't cute, but the money was. The money was beautiful. It was beautiful, Miss J. So green and bountiful. Now, I'm just annoyed because there is a little bit weird to me that Dorit is going to be upset with Kyle, but not Erica when they kind of made the same comments. Everyone knows her marriage was a mess, but she starts basically airing him out, saying that his drinking has turned into a problem. And she's referencing him and using the word he is a full blown alcoholic. You're separated from him, so I understand that's your husband, but you don't really have the right to say that about him unless you're gonna tell us some stories of when he was drunk and tripping. I didn't like that. I just felt like her bringing that up to Erica of all people was in poor taste. But at the same time, they referenced the reunion, the messy ass producers, when Doris just said at the last reunion that her and PK are better than ever. And now they're, look where they at, depleted, broken.
At least she was trying to make it seem like her and PK are going to keep up with the appearances, and trying to be, what is that thing called, on the same page, or I forgot what that saying is called when couples are on the same wavelength. But she was trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to make
Mm,
sure, and it didn't work. It didn't
yeah.
work.
Yeah. It never does. Trying to keep up with somebody else. Keep up with yourself. Hell, I can
Oh,
barely keep up
United
with
Front.
myself.
That's what I wanted to say. United Front. That's what it is.
He said it comes to you. It always comes to you once you finish. Very convenient, her saying he is an alcoholic. Bye, Dorito.
I'm saying, to me, I felt like, what good did that, you know, what good did that do? What, like, if you ever
She's
really
trying
love this
to
man,
paint herself as the innocent party. I, you,
no,
if he
and
had an
she's not
alcohol
innocent
problem,
because, ma'am, we could call you the same way we can talk about him being an alcoholic. We can call you a liar.
preach.
So I
And
don't understand.
that's
To
what the
me,
producers did, showing them receipts of her lying, saying her marriage was good. Now
right?
you want to come on
So
TV telling the truth because you see that nobody fell for your bullshit.
I get one is harsher than the other, but at the same time, she's not perfect. She's
Yeah,
not
that is
perfect.
true.
We ain't heard about that break in or the missing $10,000. Whatever happened with that, Doris or
What
Doris?
happened to the therapy? You would think
Right.
that she would start this out saying, "I'm still in therapy." I took offense to that. I've actually been robbed. It's not fun, is what I will say. I don't understand it. She said, "I'm a sociologist." I love
Yes.
that. She's
We
literally well
love
versed
y'all.
in
I
the
tell you.
study of humans. Let me tell you. She said, "I see all the crap a mile away."
Hmm. Yes.
She really wants us to believe that that man an alcoholic. After all, she done thrown all these parties for him with the open bar, fed him drinks, drank with him. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I love the educated people. I love it.
I do too. You guys make this, us doing this YouTube, and we're trying to explain our professions and everything that we do. Because as me be in the study of biology and Mrs. Best being in psychology, we always dissect these people. So we love when y'all come into these chats. We do.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I'm listen. Erica, for some reason, is the first person that Doris told. I'm gonna call her Doris in that instant because I wouldn't trust Erica as far as I could throw her. Everybody should really never trust Erica again because she showed her ass when she got that divorce. But we already
What
know
divorce?
Kyle and Doris are not in a good place, so we'll come back to that
What divorce?
when
Who's
she filed
divorce?
the
I was
filing.
gonna say that heifer's still married. So no, she not divorced. That judge ain't letting her out this marriage until all these cases get settled. I'm telling you.
And the judge, if he saw, because the judge can see the evidence, if the judge is able to see the evidence and feels that this woman needs to stay married to him, that means that the judge feels that she is partially liable in this shady situation that, well, the multiple shady situations. He did get a DUI, and I can't believe he says somewhat of an alcoholic, but he seems to be off the sauce. He has even lost weight. He seems to do better, bitch, they win it when he's away from Dorit. I've
Yeah.
noticed that even during the marriage, and I feel like that's part of the reason he traveled so much. Because let's keep it
And
real.
maybe the reason why he be drinking, because hell, I drink too dealing with her.
I
So
couldn't
I'm
do
just
it.
saying.
The bitch is
I'm
stressing you
but
out and running your credit card bill up.
right. Even his response to last season when it came to the break-in, it was like, okay, like it happened, which makes me feel like that was bullshit when he did that. But I'm just saying I would drink too, because she's exhausting. She is.
Yeah. Man, she is exhausted. And he said that. He was like, some of it is, yeah, the robbery has affected you, but the other part is you're just obnoxious. And that's when I said, oh, he don't like his wife. They ain't gonna make it. He don't. He don't like her. I don't think he like her. That's just how I feel. He probably got sober. I agree with Miss J. He got sober and said, "The hell was I thinking?" That's exactly what is happening because it sounds like he wanted it, but we're going to discuss it. But it sounds like he wanted this more than her because she wouldn't do it. She want to look good. So we have to talk about Kyle, everybody. And I'd like to apologize to you guys because recapping this, I have to be fair to every person involved. But unfortunately, we have to discuss Kyle, which is like feeding a monster that will someday attack you. So Mauricio and Alexia have moved out. I do not like these people, so I am just gonna read the note and get James's opinion. But this they would have said exactly. He said his mind is clear, and now he knows he don't want this marriage. Right. We gonna come back to that statement because that dead on. So Kyle is still on the show. She's still separated from Mauricio. I used to like Kyle too. I loved her in the beginning. Miss J said,
No,
Kyle. I loved Kyle in seasons 1 and 2. And then after that, I just can't seem to get with her.
no, I've
James has never liked her, y'all.
never liked her ever since she did that with Kim in the back of that limo. I was done with her then, and never seen it for because after that season, it kept being shit on top of shit on top of shit. Couldn't do Kyle. Never liked Kyle.
But
I
that
tried
was a
with
good
Kyle.
observation on your part early on, because if you'll do your own blood like that, then
Right.
how you gonna
When
do
you
other
know this
people?
lady struggle, it's one thing when you are like just calling something out because she's behaving irresponsibly one night when y'all going out. I get that. But when you know your sister has a problem and you know this environment really isn't the best for her, that's not your responsibility to go and tear her down and kick her while she down. That's not what you're here for.
That's right. I agree. I have one sister and some other siblings, but my sister, she's a Sagittarius. I'm a Gemini. Sometimes we clash, but we do these like silent periods and then come back together, and it's just all love. Like I would never publicly embarrass my sister. She's in politics in San Francisco, so I could really pull up on her when them cameras is there, KTVU too, and make her look a fool. I would never do that to my sibling. That's crazy. Kyle is a whole asshole. She really can't go. I don't think that Kyle has enough of a storyline to be on the show anymore. And some people feel like she does have a storyline with the separation, but the separation don't mean not a damn thing if she's not willing to talk about stuff in real time and she's not willing to keep it real. And that's how Kyle is. She wants
Mm-hmm.
us to still feel sorry for her because of the separation. Um, I'd like to remind everyone she chose this as well. She asked him to move out. She asked for the separation. She asked for all of this. And then she's coming to us expecting us to feel sorry for her. She has not said that he cheated. She has not said that he, what did he do to make you want to divorce him? We still
To
trying to figure
me,
that
the
out.
only thing I can figure out is that he's making more money than she is.
He no, he is. He's got an international luxury real
Mm-hmm.
estate company in the
Mm-hmm.
most expensive and booming real estate markets all over the world, and he is expanding and expanding. And I feel like Kyle is
She's
like
pretentious
slightly,
because that no longer competes with you being the sister of Kathy Hilton. That no longer trumps that. So I think because she's pretentious, and that's the only thing I can see that would make her really be like, go from, oh, I'm the luckiest woman, I have the most amazing husband, to, oh my God, he's so horrible, and does all these things. And I can't, how do we get here then?
listen, that is the best way to bring it up. A bitch stay winning.
Allegedly.
It's going across the bottom of the screen so everybody can speak freely. I, I listen. I agree. I agree. And you know, the only way Kyle could turn me around personally if she keeps it real, and she's not going to do that. But we're supposed to feel bad for her. She's crying about, oh, Mauricio's gone, and I don't. I learned what gutters are. Still couldn't get the shit right. Listen, Kyle, you are rich as hell. Okay, you are rich as hell. I'm on the income of a social worker. If I, as a social worker, can afford to hire somebody to take care of the lawn and the garden and all of that, then I'm sure you can too. Hell, it's California. You could go to Home Depot and find somebody to do it for the low in cash. I'm trying to tell you, there's so much that you could do to have someone handle your house. And when Mauricio was there, he's always traveling. So how the hell was he so helpful around the house when just last season you was telling us the only thing you did say is he's gone all the time, so it's hard on the marriage. Now suddenly he was around all the time to clean the gutters. Ain't no way in hell that man is worth millions and millions of dollars with your pretentious ass, and he was cleaning the gutters. Absolutely not. Do you believe that he was cleaning the gutters, James?
Okay, if Maurice cleaned those gutters, y'all, I'm not black.
Shut up, James.
And y'all can see clearly that's obvious that I am black. That man ain't Venmo clean them gutters, and I'm telling y'all, y'all don't want us to see the help. Because I
Listen,
guarantee you it look
they
wrong.
gonna tell.
Absolutely. I guarantee you it look wrong. So no, the hell with Kyle and this damn foolishness.
This is why people do not like Kyle, because she's still trying to act like, oh, woe is me, when other housewives have literally gained more popularity and solidified themselves going through their divorces. But here you are, woe is me. I'm just a damsel in distress. I can't clean the gutter. I can't with Kyle. I just cannot. I'll change a tire with this acrylic set on. I'm gonna get it done. I don't understand you, Kyle. Just saying. I don't. But James, we got to get into more foolery. So Kyle is basically trying to make it seem as though Dorit sharing and reading that text message at the reunion was like a bad thing and just, a betrayal. No, it wasn't. Oh, let me get through the comments real quick. I remember when he scammed that African man out of his land. Oh shit. Oh, oh.
That happens all the time.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Miss J.
That
Wow.
happens all the time. Like what he did, that happens a lot. Where
I'm
people
not
sell their
surprised.
land for little penny to the nickels, and then when the corporation buys it, they sell it for millions and millions. It's all
Yeah,
about your name. That's why he was able to do that.
he knows what he was doing.
Absolutely.
Cry me a river. Right. We tired of her tears. She is so rich. How much more money do you want? The rich only want more and more money. That's real. Money is power. They act like they
Yep,
donate a
it
good chunk,
is.
but it's for a tax write off. With all that money, is she poor? Cleaning Hollywood gutters. She said, what was me buy a purse? Right. Go buy a purse. I wish I could just go buy a purse.
I mean, I wish I could just buy anything. I mean, I'll
He
go to
said
the grocery
anything.
store, go grocery shopping. Get you some real food. Cook. Why don't you learn how to? Kyle, why don't you learn how to cook? Just do that. Cook
She can cook.
Thanksgiving.
Well, she thinks she can. Maybe that's why the marriage ended. I don't know. Because we've seen her, she's cooking throughout the seasons, but it's always like something that don't require like
No
what?
effort. That's why I looked at
Yeah.
you because I was like, she might as well cook hamburger helper. I'm just saying.
Not him. I'm moving on, James. So Mauricio's officially moved out. Alexia's moved out. She's having troubles with all of these things. Basically, the whole reading the text message thing. Dorit read that text message because I think it really did click in her brain that Kyle is manipulative, and the only way to prove her wrong is to present with receipts. Like that seems to be what it is. But Dorit seems to feel the friendship is one sided, and Kyle then says, "Well, I was really upset because Dorit rated me as the least of the favorite sisters of the Richard sisters." But that was manipulative of Kyle because when they showed the clip, Doris was asked a question and how she was going to rate the Richard sister from favorite to least favorite. And in that clip, Kyle jerked, giggling, spilled water on Doris, and she jokingly said, "Well, Kyle's last," which I didn't take as like a real rating, but it seems like Kyle's trying to turn that into more than it is so that she can look like she has a reason to be mad. But you ain't got no
Even
reason to be mad.
even if it were true, like even if Kathy and Kim rank outside of you, what does that matter? What does that matter?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's like y'all are grown. Y'all is women in your 50s. Really, Kyle? You mad over that little bit? I'm thinking Kyle from the station, she told y'all my business. She said what I did with Morgan. I
Mm.
thought Kyle was gonna come back with something just absolutely crazy.
But
Well,
she
Kyle
references
said
shit that she didn't even care to mention at the reunion. If
right.
that bothered you, why did you not bring it up at the reunion?
I can't
Kyle,
with Kyle. I can't with Kyle. I just can't. I cannot with her. Like I can't
Dorit
believe
is
I'm gonna be
smart
on
and
Dorit's side. I can't believe I'm about to. Cause y'all, I'm telling y'all, I can stand Dorit.
I was mad as hell at Kyle because she made me have to take Dorit's side. But I will say, karma, LVP had similar issues with Kyle. We're going to talk about that more at the end of the recap. But it's interesting to see the two people that worked so hard to oust her off the show now at each other's throats. Right at the throats. So I don't know if I feel bad for Kyle. And I really don't feel bad for Dorit, but in this situation, to be fair, how Dorit handled Kyle, I don't think Dorit did anything to Kyle. I genuinely don't. So Dorit gonna feel or Kyle gonna feel away, but at this point, no one likes her. So we get to Garcelle. Garcelle, she don't, this day when it is roasting her in the comments, coming for the neck. We get to Garcelle. You guys, I love Garcelle. I think she's a beauty. I think that her wow factor on this show is gone. I just at this point look forward to seeing Garcelle with Sutton. And Garcelle is nosy as hell and will bring whatever up at the dinner table. It's just listen, that's one thing us beautiful black people are good for. We get to the bottom of it somehow. So she does do that. She be in everybody's business. But Garcelle is the one who really doesn't have a storyline. She has an actual career. She's producing, she's acting, she's doing all these things. She's got grandkids. Like, I don't think she fully fits the show no more, but she's still here. We see her son. He's got a new girlfriend. She's playing a cougar on a film on Hulu. Her Black Girl Missing, another part of the saga.
Both
And
movies were good, by the way.
she's, huh?
Both movies were good, by the way.
Of course. And the other movie is on Lifetime. I mean, Garcelle's doing big things. She's doing good things. I'm happy to see her representing the Haitian and Black community well. She's doing a lot of positives. So, I mean, that's great. But in terms of like my entertainment, like I don't really have much to say other than congrats to her. And your son's still cute. And yeah, that's
Yeah,
anything you want to add about that scene, James?
no, that was it. I love Garcelle. I do. I love
Mhm.
a Black woman that's winning, so I'm here for her always.
Yep.
So, and her son actually Garcelle just announced on Twitter today that her son is expecting his second child. So, good.
Oh, see, it's all there's like a lot of good going on. And he's still sober, which is also really good because she said he struggled. So there's a lot of positive that's coming from Garcelle, which I appreciate seeing on television. I just feel like, in terms of what she has to give as a housewife, we're not seeing her date. We're barely able to follow her around all the time. I feel like she would be better right now as like a super exclusive friend of kind of how Marlo was at one point on Housewives of Atlanta. Um, yeah, her hair is, I think this every time I see um Garcelle, she has to figure the hair out. She just does. It's so just get some braids or some twist or something, Garcelle. You'll be all right. Miss J said her son needs a flute. He got a lot going on. Her son does have a lot going on, but I don't think that he is really enough to make her like interesting on this show. And she don't seem to want to talk to him, but yeah, her son, he always got him a nice little clear woman somewhere sitting right on the side. Will behave, will behave. She said, we tired of the red hair. Yeah, I want to see her in something different.
I
Go back
think
to the hair you wore when you was
yeah.
on Jamie Foxx show. Bring back fancy. I'll take that, but I'm
I
tired of
feel
the
like if she first of all, I feel like long hair does not do her justice. I just don't. I feel like if she had like a shortcut, because she has such a, how Cynthia had the short hair first season of Housewives. I feel like our son needs a shortcut. I do for some reason. I don't know why.
She said he was on Vanderpump Rules. I love Pump Rules so much that I refuse to recap it because I'll be too into it. I won't be able to get through the notes. Love Pump Rules. Been watching since season one. I said, oh, these clear people getting a little bug. I said, oh, this is interesting. But Pump Rules is right now halted for filming because people are demanding more money. I said, y'all trying to ride that scandal ball till the wheels fall off. But prior to it, the show was almost canceled. It's quiet as it's kept, but they move on basically to announce all the tabloids talking about Dorit and PK split. These were not tabloids, y'all. These were a few Bravo specific pages on Instagram that have reported that they separated. People read it and moved on. I don't think anyone was surprised, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Would you like to speak about the tabloids?
No.
Now, we did see Dorit go to see Kathy Hilton, which threw me off, but I'm not surprised. It seems like whenever someone gets close to Kathy, Kyle is threatened because we saw the same thing happen with Kyle and Sutton. When Sutton got really close to Kathy, did they not start to have issues? Now we see Dorit going to go see Kathy Hilton, and her and Kyle are having issues. I really think that that's probably what's really going on. She's jealous of Kathy and or Dorit and Kathy's relationship, and I don't like that. I don't think that Kyle likes how honest Dorit was. Like you have to hear her perspective. You have to, but when she walks in to see Kathy, she's hollering this woman's name, and she is having a vitamin drip, is what it looked like. They're very popular here in California, even if you just a regular Joe. Okay, people love them here, even in the Bay Area. But she's a vitamin drip. She's got the collagen wraps under her eyes. The lady has people doing her hair and her makeup. She's drinking something and she's getting a massage and what looked to be a facial.
I
Kathy,
aspire. I aspire. When I tell you that is me, I aspire. I want to be pampered exactly like that. Drinking my little, there was a chocolate milkshake. Drinking my little chocolate milkshake and just one person, combing this side of my head, the other person combing this side. I want the little under eye thing and the lip thing. I want it all. I do.
Listen, Kathy Hilton, this is why people love her on the show. Kyle should never brought her on the show. She is just quirky. She's so rich that she don't have the time to care. She's been married so long that I really think her and Rick, he just be like, yeah, dear, whatever you want. Like they probably really do love each other because she just be living her best life. He know not to come on camera. He knows not to come on camera. And I'm just like, But Dorit basically has mentioned once again that she has not heard from Kyle since the whole thing about the separation came out. Kathy probably did have a facelift, by the way. And that's okay because it looks great if she did. She doesn't look the same now for at least 10 years.
At
So
least in 20, hell, since her and Nicole, Paris and Nicole did that Simple Life show.
mm.
You skated over my favorite part of this whole episode. You did. I didn't know Dorit smoked. She was giving Janet Jackson and Why Did I Get Married too. When Janet had to smoke that cigarette and didn't flick the.
I didn't go over it just because it didn't surprise me. I wasn't wowed by it.
I
I
was.
do
That's stress.
remember her in her first season of Beverly Hills getting really drunk with PK, Lisa, Kyle, and she did puff a cigarette, but it was like so quick. I'm not surprised. I'm waiting on the smoking to bring out her real accent. Like, I hope that somebody's able to have a conversation with her while it's real cold outside and her throat is real dry and she's puffing on that cigarette drunk. Because I have a feeling she'll choke with that smoker's cough and we'll get the real accent. I'm waiting on it to come, James. I'm just waiting. A bit stay with it. Say y'all do know Kathy was a wild 304 when she was
I'm
younger.
trying to
Her
picture it.
mother-in-law did not want her to marry her son. It was said she would leave her kids with anybody and go to the club. That is true. That is actually true. They talked a little bit about it, and it was like a documentary where Paris Hilton was speaking about her experience and why her parents sent her to some camp that was abusing kids. But Kathy was in the streets, and Big Kathy, they mama, I mean, she had them kids in the club. I mean, hell. So they're not as innocent as they portray themselves to be, the Richard sister, but I think the ones
Yeah,
that's like
she
really trying to
won in
protect
life.
her image is Kyle. You said what?
She won. Like she really won in life. To think you is a 304 and you landed one of the richest bachelors ever in life.
That's probably why, because she
Man,
was juggling multiple,
child,
contenders at the same time.
let me learn how to do the splits and lift my leg up to my ear and all this. Never that ain't none of y'all. Let me stop.
Not to my ear. Now, while Dorit is talking and moping to Kathy, PK is meeting with Mauricio. And this is where we learn that Kyle texted Mauricio. Or not, hell. Kyle texted PK reaching out about the divorce. I thought that was really strange. Now, PK did state that he has a sober coach, and that, he's full blown alcoholic, it seems. That's what Dorit says. But he has a sober coach. He says he's gotten sober and realized that Doris is a bad listener, which I agree. She is a bad listener. And for him to get sober like that without going to detox, to me, tells me he probably drank too much, but probably wasn't as much of an alcoholic as Dorit is trying to make him seem to be. But he does kind of tell what was going on for him. She doesn't listen to him, which I can agree with. She seems to want things to be about her. But then at the same time, when he explains Dorit and how she was when they met and when things were good, he kind of viewed her from the way he explained it as arm candy because he was rich as hell. And he's like, oh, I've got this pretty young blonde. The way he explained it was like, oh, she's arm candy, and she probably viewed him as money. Because then he was like, oh, and then the kids came. And then they say these people ain't even been married barely 10 years. I've been married longer than them. I said, oh no, something ain't adding up. Something is not adding up. She said she probably signed like Marge Simpson. No, they say her mom set them up for success. She always schooled girls on how to marry rich at them in clothes when they were little girls when she was chased. Oh, you got to watch that documentary on Hulu about Big Kathy. There's a documentary specifically about her. and she was actually very abusive. And Kim Richards, God bless her, has actually come out and spoken on this show and on other platforms about how their mom was difficult and did contribute to her becoming an alcoholic. Uh, it's a lot. Like she did a lot for their careers, and I respect that about her. Left her kids with money, didn't screw them over, and she did counsel a lot of other people and how to get a rich nigga. But Kathy was mean. They say she doesn't listen to anybody. She does not listen to anybody. I'm trying to tell you. Hulu's a good place. It seems like they have so many like little mini docs on housewives, stuff that they're doing. I remember calling you, James, when I seen Heather on that damn Ozempic documentary. I said, "Oh hell no, Heather Gay, can't stand her." Anywho, um, both of these people are too much, but I don't think that PK wants to be with her no more. How did you feel about what he said, James? Did you?
It didn't move me. I don't care because at the end of the day, I understand why he's leaving, and I wish him all the best. Yeah, oh, y'all already know how I feel about Heather Gay. Y'all already know. I don't even have to speak this out. I feel like that is the full definition of a Karen
Yep.
and white privilege at the
Yep.
same time.
It's vicious. And then you add that religious. Mm-mm. So Sutton's having a party for surrealism, as she calls it. Different theme. I actually respect Sutton for this. She does throw good parties. I love Sutton. Y'all know Sutton got money. And it shows and it reflects in her parties. And I'm glad because Beverly Hills started as like the lavish franchise of the housewife. He's a housewife. So she said, "Bye, PK. Go live your best life." He will.
I
He is.
concur.
um, I noticed that Dorit is leaning into Erica this season, and I think it's because nobody else on the cast really like her. Let's just keep it about. They don't. They tolerate her, but everyone comments. Even Andy be getting annoyed with her. So I'm like, okay. But she goes into the party, and she has this thing that, for the life of me, and I might sound a little old to Gen Z or whatever the fuck it's called. I couldn't help looking. That hat looked like the inside of the 3.5 floppy disk that we used to have to save our papers to,
I thought, child, when I tell you, I thought that same thing, the
or
middle
like
one.
a CD-ROM, but
Hmm.
not the ones when you go buy someone's album, but like when you want to burn a CD, like the real cheap ones that you could get back in Circuit City.
It was a no for me. Like that, like her dress was ugly. The hat was
It
terrible.
looked like somebody stuffed water bottles into certain sections of her
You know,
dress.
not only water bottles, but like somebody, like a gang of kids, just ran up and hit her with a whole bunch of water balloons, and she came to the party wet.
Right. I listen, the harder you try with fashion, the worse sometimes it looks. That party looked like an ice white chef party. It really looked terrible. She did. I don't understand. But she came in with that 3.5 floppy disk on her head, and I could not. I couldn't. I'm trying to be nice, James, but I really want to talk shit. I'm trying to be nice.
No, I was like, girl, if me, I'd have been let loose.
Where my artists at? I do music reactions and all of that. Whoever, where the rappers at? Write a rap about her hat. Go in. I was impressed. I was impressed. And I'm glad you brought this up. Look at you helping to host the show because the next thing we see is Bosoma Saint Martin. Uh,
Thank God.
Saint John. I said Saint Martin. That's where I need to be. That's where I
Right, either
need to be.
one.
Bosoma Saint John, but she's introduced. They didn't really introduce her properly on the screen. I was like, there was no like, this is her name, or they just we got Sutton. I love bows. I was like, what is she saying? She said Miss Star Trek Dorita. Damn. She looked like she was gonna fight crime with that hat, Miss J. She did. She looked like she was gonna fight crime like one of them little Mortal Kombat characters. I want to see her do a combination. That's all I'm gonna say. Uh, but Bazoma, who Sutton refers to as Bose, James talked about this on his channel in an updates video when they announced that we were going to get a new housewife, and we were all thrilled because we're like, yes, no more Anne Marie. Now, the picture that this woman has on LinkedIn with all that hair is terrible. But in real life, this woman is fucking beautiful.
When I tell you she is stunning,
Stunning.
like
She's
stunningly
beautiful.
beautiful. She looks like a mix between Grace Jones and Estelle the singer.
She's beautiful.
She's
And all that chocolate,
stunning.
you just want to get lost in it. I
Yes.
wish that she made different hair choices, but I love that Bravo is being inclusive and mixing things up. There are black women just as rich, if not richer, than half of these people. So it's nice to show it in. And now the hair makes sense, seeing the outfits and the drama. I do like the way she dresses thus far. I felt like her entrance was okay. She didn't hate on anybody. She didn't take sides and pull a Anne Marie, if that's what her name was.
I don't
Bitch was
even know who you talking about. So that's why I
look,
was like,
she's
why do you
yeah, she came in. She really did make us proud. She did an entrance that wasn't like not remote. She was just class, and I
she was. It
appreciated
was like
that.
it was very poised, but with an That's what I loved about it. I loved now I felt like the dress to me, even though it was beautiful and it was over the top, I felt like that wasn't my idea of what Sutton was talking about. So, but it was she was still gorgeous and she slayed. I loved it.
She did. She said, "Emma, who?" Trying to tell y'all. Shout out to the doctor that was commenting last season about that.
Yes, we miss
Had
you,
our
whoever
back.
you are. Yes, we miss you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, and good luck during flu season. Hell. Now, Dorit is meeting Bose, and Dorit immediately tells Bose, even though she just met this woman, yeah, he's a full blown alcoholic. Why are you telling somebody that you just met that the man that you are separated from is an alcoholic? You talk about all these crazy things, and you just met her. Hi, my name's Amina. I have a YouTube channel, and I'm an alcoholic. Hi, I don't know you. I want this job, but I'm an alcoholic. Who does that? Who does that?
It was like, tell me you desperate for her to be your sidekick without telling us you desperate for her to be your sidekick.
Dorit need a friend because I feel
She
like
do.
Dorit, like, she really annoying, and probably people don't answer the phone.
Because she can't really go at Sutton. Her and Garcelle is not on good terms. She's not on good terms with Kyle. Erica is not there yet, so of course she's going to, woo this black lady. But I need Miss St. John, Bose, whatever you want to be called. I need you to have better discernment than that. So if we gonna go for it, I like you still, but you need better discernment than that because there's no way you looked at that lady and said, "Oh, she's authentic." There's no way.
Ain't no way in hell. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She that disappointed me. I'm glad that you brought that up because that pissed me off when she went in that confessional. It's like, I love to read. Girl, you don't know her and you
You
clearly ain't
don't know
watched the
this
show.
lady. Did
I
you
want to
watch
know
the
though.
Housewives? Did you study? Did you not do your homework before? Because you look like, based on the jobs you've had to do homework. So I know one of those homeworks is discernment.
We
Where
have
is
to
yours? Because you
remember
needed it that night.
you are one of very few people. I mean, Doris can count on one hand with plenty of fingers left how many black friends she has that have not been employed by her. So I'm just saying, we just heard this from her. She's been like, people can try to say Garcelle brought up the race card. Dorit did throw a lot of microaggressions when Garcelle came onto this cast. So I do think there's something beneath that. She's also made several comments. The homeless not toothless thing was so deeply offensive. So she doesn't give me someone who is aware or cares to be aware of important issues affecting all people of society, but especially, marginalized members, minorities, all of that. Like she doesn't get that. So for Bose to come on this show and just, oh, I love her. You don't know her, but I'll take you not knowing her and this show, you know, and you trying to be nice, I'll accept that as an excuse compared to what the last black chick they brought on here did. What I really want to know though, Miss Pozoma, why does Netflix take so long to get me the next season of something? Because sometimes, like Umbrella Academy, I'm just saying, I waited a very long time for them to put this season that we just got, and I can't understand why Netflix takes so damn long. I need to know. Let's get into the comments though. It's just apparent that she doesn't have any black friends. She doesn't know how to present in front of people of color. You can tell that Dorit noticeably becomes uncomfortable.
Right. She does. And it's like she's never seen black people before, or I don't want to say this other part, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Y'all can cancel me, whatever it is. Or gorgeous black women. She's probably not used to black women being stunning. That's probably what it is. Because I'm telling you, her response to Bose when she walked in, it was like, really?
I
You
also
live
feel
in
like
Hollywood of all places. Like, come on.
Dorit knew who she was to a certain extent, had heard of her. So I feel like Dorit also will align with you if you worth money. And Bose is worth more money than Garcelle. Because I think Garcelle is stunning in a very special way. But Garcelle
Bose
don't
is
have that
almost
much
as rich as
money.
Sutton. So,
Yeah, she
yeah, I
Garcelle
was
don't
gonna
got
say,
the
no,
pockets
I
that
looked her
Bose
up. Yeah,
got.
no, she's just as almost as rich as
Yeah.
Sutton. So, yeah, she, to me, way more than Garcelle. But I do
Yeah.
know that her and Garcelle do know each other. They've been, I don't know if they're friends, but I know I've seen them on red carpets together and other
When
people's
they
events.
interacted, they did speak to each other, and it didn't seem like there was any like harm or negativity there. So I do
Right.
think that um, they know each other. She says she's only used my husband opening and closing the damn
See,
door.
that's why I see I did the safe route. I was going to say this, but I went the safe route with this one. See, but that what was she saying here? That's what I think. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. She ain't got friends outside of her help that are black. She don't. That's okay. We who gonna cancel us as black people for stating what this woman stated herself on a reunion? You can't get in trouble for that. I wish I didn't study human behavior because Doritos is a study case. We see
Exactly.
that has to man certain fields of study. You watch stuff and it's just like, oh, I gotta turn it off. But you know, that's why I'm like, I'm not adding no new shows while I'm doing this stupid graduate degree because I'm gonna be looking and analyzing everything differently, and it's not gonna be as fun. Uh, but Doris and Garcelle finally see each other. We did learn a little bit though before I just move on about Bose. She had a husband or has a husband. It sounds like they broke up, they separated. She explained that when Dorit told her about PK. Her and the husband only reconciled after he was diagnosed with cancer. So it sounded like maybe they realized they truly loved each other once like the threat of what comes with cancer, which I will not say on this channel right now because YouTube be tripping off certain words, but it looks like she was trying to relate to her, but I was happy to learn a little bit about her. And it shows like, oh, if someone opens up to her, she'll open up to them, which makes me think she may do well on the show because you have to be open to a certain extent. But she didn't just give the information like, hey, look at me, hear my story. She used it as a way to relate.
Well, how it went, yeah, her story, well, her husband is deceased. He
Mm,
passed from the cancer.
oh,
At the same time, her mom passed shortly after her husband did.
that's so
So
sad.
yeah, I read a snippet of her book. Her book is really good.
Mm,
So yeah, she has a very interesting story. It also talks about her challenges with sitting in the seats that she sits in with Netflix and also NBC. So because those aren't given to black, especially black women. That's like Kamala in the presidency. That's like what that is to Hollywood. So she's kicked down a lot of doors. So I'm almost finished with her book, but yeah, very sad story, but I commend her strength. I really do.
I have no clue. I have no clue.
Yes, he was.
Not surprised though. Hell. But we learned a little bit about her and she did it in an authentic way. So I was like, okay, you might do well for that reason. But Doris and Garcelle see each other for the first time. Dorit don't like Garcelle. Garcelle don't like Dorit. I think that Dorit has thrown microaggressions at Garcelle in the past, but I think in the past season, the one that just went off, I think Garcelle just don't like Dorit and at times was reaching. But they don't like each other. I think Garcelle has a right. I don't think Dorit listens. I don't think Dorit is used to someone holding her accountable for how she behaves and how they react. But I was cracking up when Garcelle said, I'm not going to ask her about the big disc on her head. I'm not saying nothing about that disc on her head. But Doris, she say her beef with Garcelle is because she stated that her robbery may have been a lie. Then you better be mad at every fan, the audience, Andy Cohen, I mean, be mad at everybody. Why are you not in therapy anymore? You just got over the robbery. Mine was over 10 years ago and I still don't feel comfortable. So I'm just, come on now. Thank you. The person who lived with you and was with you more than anybody else states you don't listen. Lisa Vanderpump ended her friendship with you because you don't listen. Kyle don't want to deal with you no more because you don't listen. Erica has told you you don't listen. Everyone on this cast has told you you don't listen. Even Lisa Rinna. So, Dorit, stop it. She want I can't stand her. But it is what it is. Nothing happens. But in the middle of saying hello, it's the truth. It's the truth. Dorit don't listen. She be driving Andy to holler during the reunion. And he done had to deal with Teresa, push it up, and all sorts of crazy stuff. But Dorit seems to be the thing that just really makes Andy Cohen's teeth itch. And you could tell he asks for every bonus when he has to deal with her. Uh, but Garcelle comes to say hello to Kyle. And because Kyle and Erica, they arrive after we see Doris trying to make us feel sorry for her. And Kyle sits down and she's like, I want to talk to everybody about, what happened with me and Morgan. And I'm like, what? Bitch? What? That's literally what I said. And then I had to rewind it to process it because I was like, wait, why do you want to talk about you and Morgan? I'm so confused. Like, why do you need to talk to the cast about her? And now in that conversation, Kyle is like, I don't want to say the person's name. And Garcelle had a point, bitch. You said her name all last season. She was on the season. She was getting tattoos. Now you don't want to say her name? What?
It was given you paid that girl to be a storyline for you because you knew that was going to be the wow factor you needed to get another contract, allegedly. But at the same time, it worked. It worked to your benefit. But now you don't want to mention the young lady's name. Okay. All
Kyle
right.
got the attention she wanted, but now no one likes her. That's the problem.
Well, because it was
But
stupid for you to do that. It was stupid. It was stupid of Kyle to even go that far. Man, if you are uninteresting, get off the show. I'm sure you don't miss this little bit of paycheck for you. I'm sure
the
you won't miss it.
The thing of it is, Garcelle was right. Kyle brought all of this on herself. She asked for the divorce. She chose to start hanging around Morgan. She chose to have this woman to sign a contract to be on the show. She did that music video where they're kissing and all this extra stuff. Kyle, you can miss me with all your bullshit. We know that you wanted the attention. Y'all literally played in people's faces, and now you feel like you need to give people an explanation about what seems to be her sexuality, unless I was reading that wrong. Let me tell y'all.
That
I
wasn't
feel
an
like
outing to me.
Kyle,
That was just her bullshitting.
no, because she kept bringing up because they were commenting and alluding to like, because Garcelle asked her, was it more? Like, what was it? And she's like, I'm trying to figure out my feelings. She mentions talking to her daughter and how her daughter basically was like, Mom, if you dated women or men, as long as you're happy, I don't care, and all this other stuff. So I'm like, Kyle, be very careful with what you're doing because there are people who, in my opinion, I'm gonna just say this, who are truly part of the LGBTQ. I know there's IA plus community. Like, it's offensive to people who really do view themselves as bisexual, who really do view themselves as lesbians. There are really people out there who are married and have started families and stuff because they have fears of coming out. And like, people suffer behind that, people suffer within themselves. So it seems like Kyle is trying to allude to that. Again, she's saying a lot without saying enough, but leaving space to insinuate when it relates to people's sexuality to me is lame. I don't think that Kyle is trying to figure out her feelings with Morgan. Either somebody's your friend or they not. Personally, I think Kyle and Morgan was fooling around. She probably thought it was going to go somewhere, left her husband, and it ain't gone nowhere. And now she's trying to whittle her way back in. It's probably a stretch, but that's how I feel because everything she said just seemed to be disingenuous. I don't feel sorry for her. I just
And
don't.
how I feel is I feel that she paid that lady to come on this show and give her a storyline.
Mm, I think so also. That could be it too. Either way, her relationship with Morgan at this point with all the bullshit, nobody believes it to be something that was genuine. And now as a bitch they went in, here you go playing gay. Don't do that. And I don't got no problem with people who's gay. I don't got no problem with people who's bisexual. I just feel like don't play with people like that because people experience things, experience fear. They go through stuff psychologically as it relates to coming out. You never know what someone's been through. Don't play with something that is important to people, and sexuality is important to everybody, gay, straight, or whatever. Don't play with that. I can't stand that. She's too old for this shit too. Damn bitch, damn near 60, got her AARP card. Why are you behaving this way? I can't understand it. So Kyle really needs to just grow. But in the middle of her trying to have a moment where it looked like she was gonna like talk about this further, here comes Dorit's loud ass with that 3.5 floppy disk on her head, and then she come over and talk about her hat is a weapon. You probably right. Because artists will do anything to promote that music sometimes. You probably right. Because Morgan Wade's career got huge after dealing with Kyle. She was getting known, but not to the extent that happened after the Beverly Hills women. But Dorit say her hat is a weapon. She sits down to talk to Kyle. It's the first time they've seen each other since the reunion. And before I could even go further, and Bozoma commented on it too. Boz, I'm with you. Let me tell you, Black women, we don't have the privilege of just ripping out a track at an event like that, and it just working out. But what the heck, Kathy? I know that it's hard to go through the change. Talking about you hot and you ripped out your extension.
I was like, ma'am, look, that's rich people problems because Kathy don't care. She ain't gonna we ain't
She
gonna
did not give
cancel
a
her.
damn.
She ain't gonna cancel it. That be Shanita or Raquan over there ripping out their tracks.
She got
They be the
ripped
top
it
of the town.
smooth out her head. Smooth gone. I said, Kathy, you know what? I'm not doing this, Kathy. I'm not doing this. The white lady done ripped out her track. I can't. I loved it. This is why people love Kathy Hilton. I want to get so rich that I can just be comfortable doing whatever, because at the end of the day, people in the room going to want to stay in my good graces because of how rich I am. I just need to be that rich so I could just rip out my track, rip off the wig at a party.
I'm just saying because I ain't never seen. I mean, I have seen it, but that is just But that's Kathy Hilton though. This is Kathy Hilton. This is one of the richest white women
Thank
in the
you.
world.
Thank you. And this is what we mean for those who may not be of beautiful skin watching this recap. By privilege. If a Black woman, I don't care if you Bazoma or somebody more important than rich, if a Black woman would have tried that, we would have been viewed as ghetto, ignorant, ratchet, viewed as having no good home training. That's a true thing. But in this case, Kathy was just funny as hell. She's funny. She's funny. I love seeing
I love
Kathy.
Kathy. I love Kathy because the rich white lady never leave that body. I promise you. She ain't never that rich white lady don't never leave that body. One of my favorite scenes of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is when Kathy didn't have her phone, shut up her purse at home, and said, "What am I supposed to do?" And then when Kyle finally got a hold of the maid, Kathy was driving up the damn driveway. She was like, "Well, how am I supposed to tell you to come get your purse?" That is rich white lady problems, and that scene lives rent free in my head. It really does. I laugh every time I look at it. Just to
Kathy
see
is
Kathy,
funny.
yes.
She's
And I didn't
funny.
know Kathy could even drive a car. That's what made it so funny to me.
It makes sense though. The thing, it makes sense because that's probably how the money stays. Honestly, she say, "I'm a drive. I don't always need a driver. I'm a drive." Which
I don't think
honestly,
Kathy drives like that. I think Kathy probably can count on her hands how many times she actually drives her car. I wouldn't drive either. If I'm so rich, I wouldn't drive either. Like, I mean, I probably would go to like to Costco and go grocery shopping and stuff. And if I was a Hilton, like if I married Rick Hilton, I probably wouldn't drive either. But then I got to go to Costco, and I probably would have my coupons ready. Kathy do look like she cut out coupons though. She do, because Ralph's is expensive in LA, so I know she cut out them coupons.
um, yeah, Kathy's funny as hell. Now, Dorit and the CD-ROM that's on her head, they talked, her and Kyle, And they basically, Kyle addresses and says sorry about the PK situation. And this is where Dorit and them, when they start to talk about the issues, Dorit goes, well, I feel like I've been thrown around, used for your benefit. I don't feel like we were a true friend. And basically Dorit says the straw that broke the camel's back is when you tried to make it seem like we didn't have a friendship and had only traveled once together or a few times. When, as Dorit said, everybody knows that they were really friends. We used to see them when Housewives of Beverly Hills was off camera during the pandemic and all sorts of stuff, traveling together as family, coming together for holidays. Kyle saying that was a low blow. It was definitely a low blow. But I'm glad that Dorit, explained herself and stood up for herself. Now, Kyle tries to gaslight her. And basically, when Dorit holds Kyle accountable, she's like, well, if you won't listen to me, then I'm not going to talk. And basically, I did not feel in this situation that Doris was not listening. It was actually her turn to talk. And Kyle just did not like what she had to say. Now, Dory is long winded. But in this situation, she only said a little bit. She responded to a question and she actually answered it clearly. So that let me know this clear woman is really upset. She answered the question clearly, but Kyle didn't like the answer. So Doris tells Kyle she is sick of her shit. We about to get a different Dorit this season. I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it.
It's
I'm here
about
for it.
time.
It's about time. We tired. Same thing happened though. I'd like to remind everybody of Lisa Vanderpump. The same thing happened with her and Kyle's friendship. Kyle tried to make it seem like Lisa didn't listen and things had to go her way only. Lisa got tired of her, and her and Lisa put Kyle the hell out their house. That lives rent free in my head. Ken with that haircut, looking like one of the members of Aerosmith. He took her, he must have, get out, Kyle. You've upset my wife. He was mad as hell. He was doing the crab walk as fast as he could to that front door. He got, get out. She said, really, Lisa? I think you best leave. I said, oh, Jesus. British people, I love y'all. Put her smooth the hell out. And never came back to the show. Still ain't spoke to her. And Kyle just throws shade whatever she can to Lisa. But their friendship ended in the exact same way. And I'm mad at Kyle again for making me have to defend Dorit. But I'm also here for Dorit to try and redeem herself if it's genuine. James.
Here's the thing. I won't dislike her if she redeems herself. Like I won't dislike her, but I feel like Dorit gonna pull some shit. I'm telling you, I can't fully 100% trust her. I just can't.
Nobody can.
I can't. And Bose, you better be careful. I'm telling you, you better be careful trying to run in that circle with that lady because I promise you, she gonna say something, and then I'm not gonna defend you when she say it, depending on how close you get with her. So I'm telling you, better watch her. Just watch her with one eye and just call out the microaggressions when you see them.
Mm.
So
Yep.
I'm just saying. So I'm just saying, be careful because I really want to like you both. I really do, but you better be careful. I'm just saying.
See, Bose, I need to know if she's watched this show prior. If she's watched the show before, I feel like she should know better with Dorit. Because while Dorit can redeem herself in making sense in her argument, that doesn't mean
Yeah,
she should
well,
be
because
trusted.
to be
Doesn't mean
honest with
that.
you, the redemption is only her versus Kyle, and of
Yeah,
course,
it has
I'm not going
nothing
to
to do
Kyle's
with how
side.
she is with anybody else. So we do
Right,
want to make that very, very clear
right.
on
Yeah, I
this
want to make that
panel.
clear. When we talk about redeem, we're talking about Dorit versus Kyle. We're not talking about her in this show atmosphere because I want Dorit to go now. But when it comes to her and Kyle, I'm never gonna be on Kyle's side. I don't care who it is. I'm never gonna be on Kyle's side because Kyle is the most. Oh, I can't even say the words because it's not YouTube appropriate. But what I'm saying is, yes, that's what we're talking about. Redeem. We ain't talking about just in general. Yeah.
Yeah. She's terrible, but I thought it was an okay season premiere. They did good at introducing everybody, with the exception of Bose. I felt like they could have done more, but that's probably all they gave. But I'm curious to see what happens with Kyle and Dorit. I'm curious to see how Sutton handles Kyle. I want to see if Erica's legal stuff is going to come up. I want Garcelle to be demoted to a friend of, but I still love her. I want Kyle gone. I feel like they could get rid of Kyle and replace her with a new housewife. We've had Dorit for a long time. We've had Erica for a long time. I, you know, add other people. Sutton's extremely popular right now. I feel like if they keep casting Sutton's people, they won't have like a show in terms of the
Hmm.
drama fully. But I feel like
Yes.
Sutton's people are great as friends of, and I feel like Sutton's people bring a certain level of elite and class
Mrs. Bowles
to
was a
this.
great pick for the show. She really was.
Yeah. I don't know yet. From how she did this episode, it looks like she is, but I don't know yet. I have a feeling Bo's gonna fuck around with the church's money. That's just how I feel.
I'm trying to be optimistic, Mrs. Best. I'm trying to be optimistic.
Fuck
But
optimism.
yeah, but
I
yes,
don't
no, I get
trust
what you're saying. No, I 100. But you know who else I want to come on the show? She said she would, but I don't know why her schedule won't allow her to. Is Jennifer Coolidge? I feel like Jennifer Coolidge would eat these girls up.
she would. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you, Miss J. We appreciate that. That means the world. It really, really does. I'm excited. I'm just happy they're back. Um, I'm just happy they're back. I've been having to recap Queen's Court, which I didn't even want to originally recap. But James was like, you can have something in the meantime. So I'm glad that things are back. But the next recaps will be on James's channel. He is going to have a schedule change. So be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. His link should be pinned in this live chat for you guys to click and subscribe to his channel. You can also find it in the description of the video. Be sure to click support him. But we'll do Salt Lake City, Bell Collective, Married to Medicine, Housewives of Potomac. He's got quite a few shows that are coming back on this week, and eventually, I believe, Love and Marriage Detroit as well, because that is on hiatus. It didn't need to be, but it is. You're muted, darling.
they come back on Love and Marriage Huntsville goes when the reunion airs.
Oh, yeah, these long seasons, but we appreciate everybody. Happiest the holidays. We're gonna say it often, and we will see all you beautiful people on the next live. Thug Life. Thank you, James, and enjoy your hump day. Bye.